Hello, everyone. This is the VN Talks. I'm Tala.
I'm Cata.
And I'm Marga.
Today, we have a very, very special episode with a very special guest. We're going to mainly talk about what is good music in general, because our guest today has a little bit of info on that, and he, seems to have a passion about it. Our special guest and very good friend, JB. Say hi. Introduce yourself.
Who are you?
Hey, I'm JB. I'm very proud to be
French
the first
Lebanese.
representative of Madrid in this podcast. I'm French Lebanese. I grew up in Beirut, and I'm a guitarist. I've studied classical guitar for 10 years, and it's been in total 14 years, I think. I play guitar. I mostly play in bands now, rock, a bit of metal, and yeah.
Wow. Welcome to the podcast. I hope you have a fun time here.
Thank you.
Anyway, this is so weird for me. Honestly, we're gonna start crying. Anyway, so today's episode, like Tala said, it's about like live music. And like I think how I like pitched it to you was like there are some people that whenever you say like, oh, I like this thing, so like I like this type of music, they're like, that's really bad music. You should just listen to like what I say. So which just kept me in my mind like running through the question like what is actually good music. So we have a little icebreaker like we have in all the episodes. I'm searching for it right now, and I'm going to be asking some questions for all of us. The idea is that we answer them quickly because we always last a lot of time in the icebreaker. So first question, guys, is what is the cool music in your country? What is it like the thing that if you listen to it like you're it? So JB, as our guest, if you want, you can go first.
Cool music.
Cool music. I don't really know. I mean, Lebanon is a very weird country because it's very diverse. Most of the population, one way of dividing the population might be between French educated people and English educated people. So because schools are divided this way, some schools are taught in French, some schools are taught in English. And so I don't know. I feel like the most common music that people listen to, like, cool kids, I would say, are like the general mainstream pop songs. Also a lot of French rap, especially with French educated people, but also a bit of English educated, like higher class kids. And yeah, I'd say these are the two main cool musics.
Okay.
This word.
Cool music.
Cool music. Marga, was it cool in Spain? Because you haven't talked
Cool.
Reggaeton.
like
If we're gonna use the word cool, maybe I would have to go for reggaeton. I mean, we do have Spanish pop also that is really good and it's really famous here. When we go to the club, it's true that we listen to reggaeton more than anything. But there is something in summer, maybe not now with COVID, but that we always do in Spain, and it's going to verbenas. So we love just going there, and there's lots of Spanish pop as well, and we love just going and singing it out loud. So if I were to say what's cool music for Spanish people, I would go for reggaeton and Spanish pop.
Okay, and what about you, Tala?
I'm just joking. No, honestly, I'm not gonna. It's unfortunate, but like JB, very mainstream media, like Jordan, like through the people I know, very westernized in a way. We listen to a lot of just like English, from the West, their music from the West. Very mainstream pop, rap, R&B, all of that stuff. But we do like listening to Arabic music, obviously. But I mean, personally, for me, like my generation, we listen to like westernized music, but like the older generation listens to older Arabic musicians like Fayrouz. She's amazing. JB, you probably know Fayrouz.
She's Lebanese.
She's Lebanese. Yeah. Fayrouz, Kulthum, who else? I'm forgetting a lot. I know, but like, those are like really old but very famous, very well known throughout the Arab world and very well respected as well. So, I mean, it just kind of differs for each generation. And yeah, like unfortunately, I don't really listen to Arabic music, but I have been listening to like indie Arabic music lately. That's not really well known. Like, I think you guys should listen to them too. They're really cool. Aziz Maraka, you know, he's a Jordanian. He's really good. Or like Mashrou' Layla, they're like a band. And fun fact, they performed in Jordan, but they were kicked out because the lead singer was gay. Like, they weren't allowed to perform in Jordan. Yeah, which is sad. And then everyone went crazy. They're like, what? How is this allowed? And everything like that. But they have really cool music. You should really listen to them. Like, really amazing tone, rhythm. I don't know. JB, help me out.
You're just fine girling.
You're the expert here. You're the expert here.
You're good.
No, but
Okay,
to be honest,
yeah,
like,
that's it.
A common friend of ours, she's also Jordanian, and she, you know, and she
Yeah.
always makes me listen to like these younger Arab music, like
Yeah, really
Arab
cool,
rap
right?
and stuff.
I
Oh,
And
think
Shab
she also
Jdeed.
made me listen to them.
You
it's
should
actually
listen to
very good.
Arabic rap, Shab Jdeed. They're really
Yeah.
cool. Like Jude, I
Yeah.
remember she produced one of their songs with her cousin because her cousin is a producer, and it's called Aghla al-Ghawali or something like that. I forgot, but they
I think
they
you're gonna
produce really.
have to write this down to us.
Yeah, I'm
'cause
pretty sure
I
we're
don't
gonna
know
have
how
to make a
it's supposed to
Spotify
look.
list.
Okay, in the
Try to
Instagram post when we
remember.
post it, we'll put the songs, but their
Please.
name is Shab Jdeed.
Yes,
Their
I
name is Shab
exactly
Jdeed.
exactly
and they're
know how
really
to
cool.
write that.
Yeah,
Arabic
yeah,
group.
sure.
We'll post in Instagram stories. Okay, stop.
Okay.
But yeah, they're really cool. I'm starting to lean more to Arabic music now. I feel like I'm over the westernized phase, but I still listen to westernized music. So yeah. Anyways,
For us,
Cata, how
here-
about you? Yeah.
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 For us here in Colombia, it's like it really varies. I think if you listen to music in English, you're cool. If you don't, like, who are you? Honestly, it's really sad. I do like music in Spanish, but like even like, well, I have my stance on reggaeton, and like that's a whole different conversation, probably for another question.
Okay.
But yeah,
I
I think
thought she was gonna say for another episode, and I was like, that's literally why you're here.
question.
On
but
reggaeton.
But yeah, okay. So saying that, I think I can go to that question is what music will get you judged for listening to? So this for me, I get very judged for listening to K-pop, and I would also get really judged like here in Colombia for listening to like traditional music like folklore, like Colombian folklore. So that's a list for me, and like I do love all types of music. So yeah. So I don't know who wants to go next. JB, you want to keep going the conversation?
Wait, give me a minute. Someone's ringing out my.
Okay,
Our
go.
guest will be out. For me, honestly, K-pop would be one of them. Honestly, like here, I remember my friend who listened to K-pop. Everyone was judging her, and they were like, "What the hell, you?" Blah, blah, blah. So K-pop isn't really. I mean, from my experience, from what I've seen, not really favored here. But I don't think there's this type of music that, like, oh, you'll be like completely judged for. I feel like everyone has their taste in music, but I am judged for mine. I mean, I don't think this is like, it's not a genre, obviously, but I listen to very depressing music, and a lot of people judge me for that. Like, why do you listen to depressing music? You should listen to rap. You should listen to blah blah blah, and they like the more hype songs. So I mean, I don't know. I get judged for my music taste all the time. So I don't know to that question. I feel like everyone just has their own taste. What about you, Marga?
I mean, I don't really know. I feel like it's sad to say, but I feel like in Spain, it's also, I mean, now more people listen to K-pop, but it's true that it has also been something that some people do judge. I'm sorry, Cata. I mean, you dragged me into it.
I'm on the way.
Yeah.
Like, go cry.
You dragged me into it, so it's
know,
not
I
that
did.
I wouldn't. But I think it would be generally judged, and if not, I mean, I always hear comments about. I mean, maybe this is not only in Spain, but I do hear like them about hard rock, for example, and people who just find it just say like, "Oh, that is not music." Like they seem to be screaming. I think people like tend to make those comments about things like hard rock or rap. So maybe they are not judged if they listen to it, but yeah, they are definitely not considered music in the eyes of some people. So, which is something I'm sure we'll get into later. So yeah, maybe those.
How about you,
I have a pretty similar answer. So there's not a single type of music I can tell you that like if you listen to it, people are going to judge you. Probably because like I don't know, like it's probably linked to the fact that people have different opinions, and also the fact that if a music is really really judged, like if it's actually weird for someone to listen to something, we just like won't know about it. But I'd say, okay, so for example, the case of K-pop, I have no. This is
everyone's just shitting on K-pop right now.
No, I'm not gonna try
On my way to like go hug my albums. Honestly, I'm gonna hug my album and just be like, "Don't listen to this, please."
You wrote that question, Cata. You wrote that question.
Yeah,
this is all your
you
fault.
Brought that on yourself.
You brought that up.
K-pop, people judge it at first. Like if you say to someone, "I listen to K-pop," they're gonna be like, "Oh, you like Asian boys," which is not very possibly true. But if it's just like if people listen to a K-pop song, they're not gonna judge it because they won't recognize it as K-pop.
Yeah.
So the problem is not like the song in itself; it's more like the way people show their love for K-pop, which we will probably discuss in this episode. So stay tuned.
That was a good answer. We can keep being friends. Thank you very much. So my last question for the icebreaker is if in your countries there is any like relationship between like class status or like certification or gentrification related to music. So like just to set as an example here in Colombia, if you listen to, I'm not going to explain what the type of music is, but like if you listen to música popular or rancheras, it's very related that you're like really low class, that you have like a very little money. But if you listen once again to like music in English, you are probably like really rich because you're going to be able to go to the States, you're able to afford the really expensive concerts and all that stuff. And reggaeton,
that's deep.
Reggaeton is somewhere in the middle. That's like why I have very confusing stance on reggaeton, because like I personally like don't like reggaeton. Like you will never catch me listening to reggaeton by myself. If I'm in a party, like that's a different thing.
Okay, never mind. I was like, Cata, I've seen you in parties, honey. You like reggaeton. You like reggaeton.
We've seen you dancing to Gasolina. Shut up, Gasolina.
I don't like it. Because here's the thing, I don't like it because their lyrics are very degrading to women. And
some are,
like,
yeah.
Oh
like
yeah.
I've had this conversation, like literally this is like things that we talk in like every single year, like in Spanish class when we have to write poems. We're like, but reggaeton, like this things. But like the thing about reggaeton is that it started as something that was like for the low class, but now more people from like higher classes are starting to love it. So it's really confusing like where to stand it, because people are like, it's really bad. Like the lyrics like literally telling like women that like you're objects, but then like it has like a really dope rhythm. So yeah, but I want to ask you like if that also happens in your countries, or if it doesn't, but maybe like if you could like try to think it on top of the head. So I don't know if someone has an answer.
I kind of do, because like in Lebanon, I think that it's like linked to the fact that you said that people in your like people our age, and especially from our social class, listen to more like westernized music.
Yeah.
In Lebanon, it's kind of the same, to be honest. So like, okay, everybody listens to Arab music, even like higher class people, because it's just so dope.
Yeah.
But lower class people will be less exposed to the West, and so so it's not that people from the upper class won't like Arab music, it's that the people from the lower class won't like westernized music.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree with that.
They identify it to and I don't know, just like
being influenced by the West. Yeah, being like us westernized.
For example, if you listen to like a French song next to someone from a low class, he's gonna tell you that's like, sorry for the term, but that you're a faggot, because they also link it to very homophobic terms, which I don't understand. but yeah, that's basically the difference, is that lower class people will usually have this kind of like barrier keeping them from listening to stuff from the West. But
Yeah. No, totally. Like the same thing for me. I mean, when Cata first asked that question, I was like, I don't think there is. But now looking deeper into it, like in more, I wouldn't say like, yeah, like conservative areas, lower class. Like we live in, me and like my friends and my family and relatives, like we live in West Amman, and and people there in like the conservative areas, like they call us West Ammanis. Even we call ourselves like West Ammanis because we're the spoiled private school, privileged little kids, so like they kind of look at us, and also very much westernized. Like we speak English a lot, like very good English. I remember like a lot of tourists would come and they would say like, oh, like you speak very good English, and they expect us to speak really bad English, but that's besides the point.
Oh my God,
like,
you have houses just like in the US.
Yeah, like you don't go on a camel to school? What?
Oh my God.
I love having another Arab with me. No, but like, because like I literally got asked that one time. It was hilarious. It was so funny. But yeah, like they have that perception of us of being very Western influenced. And honestly, I don't really blame them, because we are very westernized, I would say. Like we follow with the West. We listen to Western music. We watch Western shows. We dress like Western people. We talk like them in a way. So I mean, I don't blame them. We are very much influenced by the West. But yeah, for sure, the perception of like listening to English music, like if we listen to mainstream music in a conservative area, there would be so many faces. Why are you guys laughing? There would be so many faces just looking at us like, who are these? They would know that we're not from there, So yeah, I would definitely say I'm with JB on this. And also, why are you laughing?
Marga, what do you say? Do you have anything?
So I have my answer. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys. Sorry, I go on a rant. It's funny.
No, it's not that. Go on.
Yeah. Whatever.
What? What?
No,
you say
my answer. It's time for my answer.
I know. I'm so sorry, Marga.
It's okay.
I'm never gonna talk again. Bye.
No, okay. We were just laughing because you were just like, "Oh my God, I don't really have a lot to say about this topic."
Oh yeah, literally, guys.
No, you're like, oh my God.
And she just goes on and cut on her like, "Oh yeah, nothing to say."
Literally, guys, before this episode started, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna talk much, and then here am I. Listen, don't ever listen to me before the episode, okay? That's what we learned.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Cata and I knew already.
Because I'm just talkative. Anyways, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, girls.
Okay, so my answer really is more focused, I guess, on probably like left wings and right wings in Spain, because we have a really polarized society in that sense when it comes to general politics in Spain. So I would say, especially when it comes to some kind of rock and some kinds of artists specifically, you would relate them to left-wing voters, for example, and some other artists and some other kinds of music would be more related to right-wing people. When it comes to classes, it's really not that noticeable anymore. I feel like, for example, every kid, even, left-wing, right-wing, will go to the club and dance to reggaeton in the same way. So I cannot really make a difference. Maybe I can when it comes to different ages, and maybe that kind of class gap can be seen more with older people. But for example, in our age, it's really more about seeing polarization when it comes to politics that is also reflected in music, and artists that are left wing being the ones that left wings follow, and all that stuff. It happens with many artists in Spain. I'm just not going to call out anyone or anything, but yeah, but I do see that, and people from Spain know what I'm talking about. And yeah, that's it.
I just want to point out something. Do you guys remember when Cata said she doesn't like reggaeton? when Marga, when you mentioned the term reggaeton, she started dancing.
She's such a liar.
Literally,
No,
literally.
I honestly don't like it. Like I haven't listened to reggaeton since I left Spain. But you said reggaeton, and I remember the song that says like reggaeton, reggaeton. And then
Yeah,
you said,
J Balvin.
reggaeton. I remember
Good
that
one.
song. And I was like, woo.
The thing is,
Anyway,
I get what Cata says, but you know, it's true that reggaeton is getting better. For example, when it comes to the lyrics, now we have
I really hope.
many of them that are not degrading to women, but yeah, there's a lot to be done. So I get you, Cata.
If you want, like we can like so the icebreaker is done. But I think with like that thing on reggaeton, like we can like keep it going the conversation. And the thing about reggaeton and like I think about all music in general, and something that I heard actually J Balvin said or Maluma, I don't know, one of those guys, is that they settle a thing reggaeton because of their lyrics. And the thing, at least for me, good music comes with good lyrics. So what they said about reggaeton is that reggaeton is the most honest music of all. And I was like, oh, what the fuck are you saying? And the reason why they said this is because they're like, okay, so in reggaeton music, they say like, oh, I went to the club, I saw this girl, and then I fucked her, and then I left. I never saw her again. That's literally a reggaeton song. Meanwhile, like you will have like I don't know, classical music, or you have like any other type of music. Like for example, my dad's
classical music lyrics.
Shut up.
Like,
Oh, now we know. JB judges people who listen to classical
Oh
music.
yeah, me too. I forgot about classical music. Yeah, you will get judged for listening to classical music.
You will.
For
Now
sure.
we just saw it. We just saw an example. Okay.
JB judged me all the time.
Marga's
Anyway.
salty. Marga's salty.
guys, literally, why would I judge people for listening to classical music? I'm a classical
I don't know.
That's
You
like
tell
the
us.
lowest.
You tell us.
No,
Anyway,
I actually
anyway.
listen to it like
Yeah.
all the time.
Anyway, so like for example, like so that's what like a reggaeton song would say, right? But then we have like stuff like that. My dad's favorite song is September by Earth, Wind and Fire. I was basically raised upon Earth, Wind and Fire. And the song says like, do you remember the 21st night of September? What is this song saying? Like in a very like nice lyrics, let's say it's. Do you remember the time we fucked? But there's not actually saying it. It's not implicit. It's not explicit. So I think that's
poetic.
It's poetic. So I think that's the thing about reggaeton, which I didn't stand it before. So yeah, so at least for me, like carrying on the conversation, for me, good music comes with good lyrics. So what for you guys would this good music come from? Would it come from like lyrics? Does it come from like a melody? Does it come from a rhythm? I don't know. I'll leave it to you guys.
Okay, so I'll take.
Go ahead.
For me, good music, like the good part of music, can literally come from anything. So, for example, a lot of people say that like rap is not music because they don't sing, which is completely dumb because like you don't need lyrics, like you don't need to sing for it to be a song. I mean, for it to be music.
Rap is fire.
Rap is good, and sometimes rap have like super like well written lyrics, which I absolutely love. And rap is basically based on the rhythm, which can also make a music good or bad subjectively.
Yeah.
And
rap
so,
stands for
me, like,
sorry. I was just gonna say that like rap stands for rhythm and poetry. That's what rap stands for.
Yeah,
And,
literally.
sorry, I just wanted to say that. Keep going.
No. Marga has a moment.
I was 2 years old when I found that out. Okay.
No, but yeah, literally. So, I mean, okay, going back to classical music, basically my mom is a professional violinist. And so I've been exposed to classical music, like literally even before I was born. So like when I was in her tummy and she went to concerts and shit.
JP Mozart.
So, no, literally. So like classical music doesn't have lyrics, obviously, and it doesn't, but it's still so good, and people might love it. Just as I don't know, like a pop song may not have like a very deep meaning, but the music slaps and the singer sings like super well, so that can make it good. So for me, it's there's not a single like clear classification on what music is good, what music is bad based on like just one attribute.
What
Yeah.
about you? What about you, Marga? What do you search for when you're searching for like your good music?
I mean, I was gonna say when you said that about the lyrics, I was thinking like, oh, maybe to me it is like more of like a combination of it all. Like I could not think of just one factor, but now that we've gotten into it and I've thought about music that has no lyrics, and it's definitely good music to me. Like even objectively, I would say people would say it's good music. I would say then that of course like having good lyrics or like lyrics that get to you is helpful and can make, for example, a song beautiful or that you can like it more or less. But I think it, although it definitely can help to for you to say, okay, I think this song is good. It's definitely not like determining because, as JV said, like it, classical music can be good music and you can think of it as good music, and it has nothing to do with lyrics, and it might not have lyrics, but so what I think I look for is kind of a song that engages me, and I think that kind of comes just with the melody and the rhythm, and I think kind of a combination of both of those things will kind of get me into the song and kind of help me determine if I like it. And then if it has lyrics, then maybe it will like kind of add to it. But I do think I have to like whatever is coming that is not just the lyrics, so I can tell like, okay, I like this song or I think this is good music. Because if not, yeah, I could really like some lyrics, and if I'm not liking like the melody or whatever it's making it sound the way it's sounding, I would not say it's good music or that I like the song as much as the lyrics are beautiful. Like the lyrics could be really poetic, and I just wouldn't like it if I don't like the rhythm or the melody. And bless you, Kat.
Thank you. Thank you. I have no question for Tala because like before you said that you like really like sad music and depressing music. There's like so like at least for me, like I also really like I like listening to my sad girl hours, honestly.
Yeah.
But like at least for me, like that music is very related to like lyrics. So like I don't know, like maybe for you it's also lyrics, or what is it for you then?
I'm like the same as Marga. Like I always go back to the rhythm and like the melody of the song. Like that's why I like depressing music, because depressing music actually has really nice rhythm and melody. Not only depressing music, like very chill R&B music, for example, like most of their tone, like the rhythms of the song are really nice, and sometimes I wouldn't even understand the lyrics, but I would just really, really, really like the song. If it has good rhythm and good lyrics, obviously that's a bonus. It's amazing. I'll listen to that song 24/7. But I don't only like, oh, if it doesn't have, like, if it has good lyrics and not a good melody, I don't think I would listen to it either. Like, it has to have a good rhythm for me. Like, that's the best part of the song, in my opinion. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Now like on that note, like I think one of the music that has like the best rhythm, I think the thing that always catches people's eyes is like very commercial music. But usually when you say, oh, I listen to like I don't know, the latest Taylor Swift song or whatever they are playing on the radio, people are like, but like that's like too overplayed. That's too like overrated. But in the end, like
Yeah.
if it's overrated, if it's overplayed, why is it people playing it if it's bad? So like I think that's my question for you guys. Like, what do you think about like commercial music? You're all done.
Maybe you want to start?
Who wants to start?
Whatever.
Who are we talking to? Okay.
I don't know. I'm putting it out
There's a
there.
very, very weird, like, people link their idea of good music and bad music. Sometimes they just link it to the nature of like where this music comes from, which for me like doesn't make sense, because two songs that can come from the same artist at the same year, one can be like super good, the other can be disastrously bad. And so people who directly judge commercial music for being bad just because it's commercial, to me it's just like, I don't know, like hipsters who want to say that I just listen to indie stuff and underground music and shit, because like, you know, commercial music is listened to for a reason, because I don't know, it speaks to your instincts. It's well formed, it's well produced. The most of the singers, I think we take this for granted, but commercial music, if you actually like focus on the singers that we listen to today are incredibly talented. And it's crazy, like we've reached a point where, and this I realized because, you know, when I'm training when I'm practicing a song, when I sing it, it's so difficult to sing like recent songs because all of the singers can go to such high notes. Like I could never. And I think we kind of take this for granted, like, yeah, that's just what a singer is. But I think that a lot of commercial singers and commercial groups and commercial artists are actually like very, very talented. And that's literally the reason why I don't listen to it that much.
Yeah.
I mean,
Go.
oh, no, it's okay. You go.
No,
No,
I was
I
just
mean,
gonna-
I totally agree with you. There are many talented people who are in commercial music. But wait, by commercial music, do you guys mean like
I feel like we mean mainstream music.
mainstream?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
because
music
that's
is
what I
mainstream.
understood.
That's
Okay.
what we're talking about.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I understood. I didn't want to be like a dumb idiot and
No, yes.
say something else. But like I totally agree. There's many talented artists that have amazing voices and are extremely talented in in the mainstream media or like mainstream music, whatever. But I feel like I have commented that a few artists are overrated, and I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this.
Drop the name.
I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this, but genuinely, it's not because like, oh, they're mainstream. It's just I can't talk. It's because like I genuinely do not see the hype in their music. It's good, don't get me wrong, but it's not like oh, like Drake. Sorry, I know Drake fans, don't kill me, don't hate me. Okay, I personally I don't see the hype that everyone gives this man. Like, damn, there are way more 10 times talented artists that rap the same, that like do the same thing he does, and they don't get enough credit, and that pisses me off. And I don't know, I just feel like he's just too overrated, and I had to say it. But I don't only look at like how they're just mainstream. I also see like in their work, in their art in general. So I don't know. Sorry,
Okay,
I have to be like
can
this.
I add something?
What?
Okay, I just have a little example to give. So during quarantine, during like COVID, and like French speakers will understand what I'm talking about. There was this 16 years old, literally random unknown girl. Her name is Wejdene, and she released on YouTube like a homemade song that she filmed with, I don't know, like a member of her family. I think she's just like wrote it herself and sang it. And the lyrics, literally, the lyrics are so bad. Like it doesn't even rhymes. It doesn't mean anything. It's a breakup song, but it's like not very, artistically written, and the music is very simple, but it sticks in the head like a fucking, I don't know. It's
maybe
so
that's because the hype. Yeah.
And literally, she released this song, and like a month later, Universal Music signed a contract with her, and now she's like one of the biggest artists. So, it for me, commercial music sometimes it's not that artistic because people. I mean, if something works, then it works. Why search for new ideas and try to do something weird and different if you're not sure that it's gonna work? When something works, it works. And so for me, yeah, sometimes the whole commercial industry, sometimes, and underline sometimes, it doesn't push artists to creativity. It pushes the artists toward like the mainstream,
where the money goes. Like they just want more money and more attention and more audience.
But I don't think that makes the music bad, because
it doesn't make the music bad. It just doesn't.
I literally know
them
the lyrics to this song like by heart, and I know that it's.
Sing.
I'm not gonna forget them anytime soon. And
It's your time to sing, baby.
If I know the lyrics by heart, then it's a good music by definition, because else why would I have remembered it? So yeah, it might not be artistic, but it might still be good music. You know what I mean?
But it's a good point. It's a good point that you both
that's a
made.
great point. Yeah.
Because you're not saying.
Understand.
Yeah, because you're not saying like you hate just mainstream music because it's mainstream. So that's good. It's like
and I don't hate. I listen to mainstream sometimes, so I'm not saying, but I am saying there are just a few overrated artists that I just don't see the hype, and maybe because that's just my taste, and I don't really like the songs that they come up with. and it's just about taste in the
and
end.
that's very
so.
valid. That's like totally okay. Like
Yeah.
you're not
Thank you,
supposed to
guys.
like everything.
I feel
And-
validated right now.
Yeah. Anyway, I was just gonna say, that like JB was just mentioning about like breakup songs, and I think I really like breakup songs.
That's my shit. That is my, even though I never went through a breakup, but that is my, Olivia Rodrigo, you have my heart. Like, this girl is like 1 year younger than me, and she's a good artist. If you don't listen to her, listen to her right now. Like, genuinely, like the lyrics too, they come on point.
Yeah, like I was gonna say that. Like people were like, especially like I was thinking about Olivia. I was literally before the episode listening to Traitor with like my whole heart crying.
What a good song.
I know. I know.
Anyway, it's like the thing about her is like I think she commented, they were like, but you're rating too many breakup songs. You're like, we get it.
Shut
like,
up.
We get it. You get like when you went through a breakup. And then she said like I'm 17, I'm 18. What else do you want me to write about? About my taxes? It's like, period, girly.
And they say the same to Taylor Swift too, and that's so annoying. And I feel like that's a byproduct of misogyny, by the way.
They say that
like that's a way. Do they hate on
Uh-huh.
male artists when they write about breakups? No, they don't.
No, I completely agree with you, Tala. For me, it's like so fucking
So
sexist
annoying.
when journalists go
Yeah.
to like a female artist and they're like, why do you not know how to write anything other than love? And literally, like male artists would write about fucking girls like,
Exactly.
all the time.
Yeah,
and
or like write
Yeah.
about their own breakups, and no one would complain. Oh,
Exactly.
you're writing too much about breakups. Like, shut up! Like, why are you waiting on this poor girl?
Exactly.
She's
Like,
writing about her feelings.
No,
And she
I-
didn't only write, and if you actually look through the album of her
Mhm.
album Sour,
like
she
only
did not
3 or 4
only write
songs.
about breakups. Like, she also wrote about her being a teenager and her
One
being
step forward,
insecure.
3 steps back.
And
Okay,
jealousy,
that's all.
jealousy, it brutal. Like,
Girls,
listen
I
to the
just
album
Real
for
out
judging.
here.
Girls, I just have nothing to say on this episode. I have nothing to say. Right, Tala?
Say that. I
You
didn't
said
say
that.
that, Marga.
You want me
If
to
you're
send
gonna
this
keep,
screenshot?
I didn't say I have nothing to
We
say.
have-
I
we
say
have
like
receipts.
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to like truly talk. But we're
Well,
talking
well,
more.
well,
like,
You're truly being able
You should have
to.
trusted me. That's the thing. That was
okay,
like,
if you guys are gonna put this on my back, then bye. I'm leaving.
Just so you see. It's just so you realize your potential. We're good friends.
Oh my god, thank you. So this is a compliment with an
Yeah.
insult.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take
Anyway,
Okay, Cata,
think-
go ahead.
anyway,
Yeah.
part of like breakup music and like girls and stuff. Like, I'm gonna get on my rant. It's my time to shine. It's my time to defend my voice.
it. As you should.
And as I should, anything Marga can also stop that. You go to my house and you ask me to play BTS. I'm calling you out, JB. Stop right
That is
now.
not true. That is
That is not true.
I've been waiting for this. Okay, go ahead, Cata, go ahead.
Anyway, the one thing that I really get pissed off all the time when listening to music, or like when this conversations happen, is when people say like, "Oh, that's like screaming girl music," and like we can hear talk about One Direction, we can hear talk about like Justin Bieber, we could even talk about Beatles, songs that like music that they're like, "Oh, it's for little girls," and they're like going to go on around like screaming. And I think my thoughts here is like, because it's targeted to little girls, or just like girls at all, people target it as if it's bad music. So at least for me, and I will go on BTS in a little bit longer, but like at least for me, like because it's like for girls, I think we just categorize it as like music, like bad music. Like what we're saying about Taylor Swift, what we're saying about Olivia Rodrigo.
For sure.
Ed Sheeran, like literally, like I also really like Ed Sheeran, and he writes the same things as Taylor Swift. He has like all his albums are like, "Oh, I fell in love with this girl, then she broke up with me," and Taylor Swift can say like, "Oh, I fell in love with this guy, and he broke up with me," and we have different total standards. And the same thing about a fandom. So like, if it's good, if it's like band like I don't know hard rock, people are like, "Oh yes, because it's for the boys." But if it's like 7 dancing and singing boys that write their own songs, oh, it's bad music.
It's
So,
it's
I don't
for
know.
only girls, yeah, and guys
So,
can
I don't
listen
know.
to it.
What are your thoughts on screaming little girls?
Again, byproduct of misogyny, byproduct of the patriarchy, byproduct of
My brother.
like I don't know.
My brother.
No, it just like I don't know why. Like it also, it's like it comes from toxic masculinity. Like, why can't guys listen to a band of boys? like One Direction. Like, why was One Direction only for girls? You know?
Marga, go. Marga, go.
R.I.P. One Direction. We met them so much.
I know.
You
just, just a comment. I was
like,
One
yeah,
Direction. I am One Direction.
Marga, go for it.
JB,
Why?
JB. Oh,
No. Let the guest talk.
yeah, like
no,
JB. What do you? Since you're a guy, and like, what do you think about that?
You're a guy.
Since I'm a guy, so I can't really like.
You
relate
better
to
like
these
One
things.
Direction.
To be completely honest, like I did not grow up in One Direction at all. Like
Okay.
I started
But
listening
you
to them
like
like, you know, when I
DNA.
got
But-
older, and
But you would like you would have liked them, right?
no, like the songs that I know of One
Be careful,
Direction.
JB. Watch your words.
What did you
I
say?
don't have to watch my words. I speak the truth.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
No, to be
I'm
honest,
not. I'm not.
my only problem with this is not playing to the music, because once again, in my eyes, a good music is the music. Like if people listen to a song for whatever reason it is, then I cannot come in and say that it's a bad music, because like my tastes are not that superior to others. A bit, but not that superior. The only problem that I have with these things is the level to which the music industry will go to market these things to girls, like especially underage girls.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, the problem is not from the artist parts, because the artist is just like writing his songs and doing, you know. But sometimes I feel like there's kind of exploitations of little girls as you know, a money cow,
Totally.
which
Yeah,
is
there
not
is.
always the healthiest
Oh.
thing. But that's my only opinion on this.
No, I
It
Simon
goes
totally
back to
agree
the
with you.
money.
Simon
As a
Cowell.
little screaming girl, I agree.
No, for sure. Like, yeah, it all goes back to like what gives them the most money, what gives them the most like you know, media attention. Like it all goes back to this, guys. And
Simon
that's
Cowell.
This is a podcast people cannot see
Simon
you.
Cowell. It's all your fault.
It's not his fault.
No,
Yeah.
but like for sure, people hate, like if a guy listens to One Direction or like BTS or any boy band, they will get shitted on. Like poor guy.
Yeah,
Can I-
go.
Can I link it to something?
Go.
Okay,
Yeah.
if like, okay, because one of the main vectors which brings you know, girls, mostly girls, to these artists, it's the, you know, the sexuality side, which is very, very, very important in this
Oh, yeah,
in
for
this
sure.
industry. And you know, like the whole marketing of these artists is like, oh, there's like these 5 perfect boys, they're so pretty, they're so
You're
smart.
so hot.
Well, they
and-
are.
Yeah,
They are.
Yeah.
They
No,
were.
Have you seen Marga's a nice chat? That's another thing.
I don't think
Those
I
are-
know
those
what
are-
that
No,
is,
but it,
but-
Those
it
are
goes on a
7.
deeper level. They definitely exploit these poor boys and also girl
Yeah.
bands and also like individual artists. Like I don't know if you
Yeah,
guys see movies
If
like
you want,
when,
I can go say something about it.
yeah, but
oh
just
yeah,
for
yeah,
me to
yeah, yeah.
finish my
Sorry,
idea,
Cata.
just for me
Yeah,
to
yeah.
finish my idea is that, you know, so
Okay.
when a boy listens to these things, people are going to say, okay, so like he's gay, and
Mhm,
with like,
yeah.
you know, it's
Yeah, with
first
a
of all,
bad
it's
implication.
you know, it's not the only reason why you would listen to this, but on top of this, I feel like there's also a kind of level of homophobia, which
Absolutely.
comes like, you
Oh,
know,
for
layering
sure.
the whole idea with oh, if you're a boy and you listen to like a female targeted music, then you're gay, and you know, that's bad. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Okay, Cata.
So okay, it's time for K-pop.
Yeah,
So K-pop
go.
is a very toxic industry. It's extremely, extremely toxic because
And homophobic.
and homophobic. No. Honestly, it is because okay. So like, just for you guys to know, like when you're in a K-pop industry, you're supposed to not have like a relationship because that will make you like less wanted by the fan base. So for example, like if one of my little beautiful 7 boys comes out and say like, oh, I have a girlfriend or I have like this thing, I would be like really happy for that. Like, yes, do that. But there are a lot of people that would be really pissed because they would be like, no, because like you were supposed to be mine. You're supposed to be like get married with me and all that stuff. Like it's very toxic. It's also a lot about money. Why on earth am I supposed to buy like the albums? Every single album has versions because they're different pictures of the guys. So if I want the guy I want, I will have to buy the album 7 times. It's annoying.
Or
And
you
it's
can
a lot
find a lot of friends to buy them for you.
Oh, of course. I love you, JB. And anyway, but like it's also what you were saying about it. Like that's the thing, because like we market BTS and we market this thing as like, oh, it's just like little pop and like dumb songs, but like I think one of the most introspective things and like all the BTS like music, it's based on the book Damien, and it's all about like learning about yourself and like literally research about the map of the soul. It's about the ego, the shadow, the persona. Like it's so many things. Like literally, BTS is so complicated to understand that I will not explain right now. Fuck
It's
you,
not
JB.
made for simple-minded people such
It's
as
not made for you. I'm so sorry. You know, it's made for everyone, but like, you know, this guy JB, I don't think he will like it. Anyway, so it's like a lot of things in the K-pop industry, and like I think the reason why BTS is like a whirlwind right now, it's for a lot of reasons, but I think it's something that they see all the time is that their music transcends like language. And one fun fact about me is that like when I decided that I was like going to go full in with the boys is when I saw the song that they were singing. They're singing this song, and I had never heard the song, and the song was full in Korean, and I started crying like my eyes out. I had no idea what the song was about, and then I found out the song is about like death. Like it's a big thing, but it's like about the death, about like kids that were basically killed in Korea. And I was like, while I was listening to the song, I had no idea what they were saying, but I could get the feeling. And I think that's for me, that's why I like K-pop. That's why I like lyrics in music, because they're trying to get a message. They're trying for me to like go stronger. They're trying for me, like they have this whole thing about love yourself. Literally, when I'm having a panic attack, I'm like, yes, I should go and learn to love myself. I'm on my way. So yeah, that's my little BTS rant. Please love BTS. Stream to permission to dance. Bye. And JB, I know you like BTS. Shut the fuck up.
No, okay. To be honest with you, like I got literally like forced into BTS, like coerced into BTS by a lot of my friends, like 4 years, no, like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I don't know. And you know, like I listened to some of their songs, and I'm not gonna lie, like some of the songs that I listen to, I really like them.
Yeah, no.
They're very, very good songs. But you know, like BTS and K-pop in general is not something that I listen to at all. Just because I'm not into that type of music.
What about you, Marga? I haven't. Here's the thing: you haven't been with religion to BTS. That's the thing. I haven't forced you. Out of the
you haven't forced me yet.
Out of the 3 of us here, you have never like Marga.
I've listened to them, and
no, but it's different when it's
no disrespect. I respect them very much. It's just not my type of music.
It's different when Cata brainwashes
Marga said that. Marga
really?
said that.
When Cata brainwashed.
Came into her house like, okay, maybe you can show me some video, but it's not like, you know, I don't have time for this, Cata. Yeah, sure. Fuck.
So funny.
And now here you are, saving up money to go to the fucking concert.
The concerts in Egypt will go. The concerts in Paris will go. Who cares? Yeah.
Are you actually going to the concerts?
We were thinking very seriously about it.
Don't remind her. Don't remind her. Because I don't have money. I didn't have time. Now I don't have money, and she's just anyways.
I'll take you to have beers in Madrid. It's cheaper and better.
Please. BTS, if you're listening, come to Madrid, because Cata will make me go to Paris, and I don't have money. I don't.
Me neither. Me neither.
The concert tickets are enough. Okay, but yeah. I feel like we've talked a lot about BTS, although I know, Cata, you would love to talk a lot more time about it.
I'm done because here's the thing.
But I feel like we should. I'm done.
I didn't want to talk about BTS today, actually, because like here's the thing, people get really tired when once talking. No, like I'm being honest, like people get really tired like when people talk about K-pop, and I understand it. So yeah, so I really didn't want to talk about it, but then I sort
But
of
then,
said K-pop at the beginning, and then I think yes. So anyway,
Okay.
um,
So, okay. As I was
uh,
saying before we talked about BS a bit more, is that, okay, although we could obviously keep talking about K-pop for a long time, I mean, maybe to finish, it would be nice to maybe also kind of touch upon a couple of things that are really typical when it comes to defining what good music is, and when it comes also to having JB here today and talking to him being an artist. So from one thing would be, as we have kind of touched on classical music and stuff, how sometimes like this kinds of music are seen in a way that to some people see them like in a way that, you know, either they hate it and they think it's just something to relax, it's always boring, it's always something to sleep to, and that's it. Some other people just say that's the only real music that exists because the rest is just not good music anymore. So there's kind of this kind of opposite opinions on it. So maybe just discussing a bit on that, and maybe kind of closing on what it is to us and what is to JB good music to him, because we've talked about many things that define it to all of us, depending on our own kind of
point of
opinions
view.
and tastes. But of course, is there like an objective way to define what good music is? Some people say it's classical music, some people just hate it. So is there like a way to know? So we kind of can maybe discuss this and kind of give it a close. So yeah, JB, you can take over if you want.
thank you.
If you want.
Okay, so
If you want.
oh,
Want
yeah,
to?
I do want. That's why I'm here.
Okay. Thanks,
So,
God.
on the topic of classical music, because like to be honest, like so the thing that is like very trendy now is to listen to classical music while you're like studying or whatever, because it's usually calm music. Um, Actually, this is the very reason why, in my opinion, like good music never dies. You know, classical music, it went through a lot of ups and downs. Sometimes it was very popular, sometimes it was way less popular, uh, but it always finds a way to be present in today's world. And for example, okay, I'm gonna sound like this very bourgeois, rich kid, but I love opera and ballet. I love opera and ballet so much. Like when you go and watch
I
an
want to go
opera
to
and
the
watch a ballet,
ballet.
it's so beautiful. Like the music is so nice and so emotional, and at the same time, like the visuals and the singing and the costumes, like it's so many different forms of art which are condensed into one piece, and it's just amazing. And so, it's so yeah. So for me, classical music like is usually very good music, and the reason behind this is also the reason why a lot of people say that, for example, on the topic of rock, for example, which I mean, if I had to choose one type of music which I listen to the most, I would say probably like hard rock or like soft metal or something. But on rock, a lot of people are like, yeah, but today's rock is so bad. Like the only good rock was like in the 80s, and
Rock
like
is
it's true.
fire.
We still listen to a lot of things from the 80s and from the 90s, but I think it's kind of an illusion that we're always going to get that old music is better. Um, and this illusion is created by the fact that, okay, we do listen to 80s music and we listen to it because it's good, but we listen to 0.005% of the music that was made in the 80s. And we only listen to the few gems that were created. And these gems will never die because good music never dies. Uh, and, like, for example, whatever, do I want to know? I know that people are still going to listen to it for decades to come because it's a good song. And though it's not as old as that was made in the 80s, if it was made in the 80s, we would still listen to it today because it's just good. And So yeah, I just wanted to say that a lot of people link the idea of good music versus bad music to like how old the music is. And though it is related, because if you still listen to it after all this time, that means that it's a good song. Um, all old musics are not good, and all recent musics are not bad. And yeah, that's one point that I wanted to make.
Thank you. That's
Mic
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mic drop.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we'll end the episode here. Thank you so much, JB, for being
Thank
here
you.
with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I hope you
It's
enjoyed
actually-
your time with us. What?
No, I was just gonna say that it's like actually so weird for me having JB here. Like I always mention him in like every single episode.
Literally.
And
But
that's
never
ridiculous.
his
I'm
Never
name.
his name.
Now
I'm
we
never
know.
named.
Now we
Why?
know who's the friend. The friend.
I know who's the friend.
50% of
friend.
the
I'm so
50%
happy.
of the anecdotes of Cata, you can just link the name JB to them. Anyway.
The friend is probably JP.
Yeah.
But
You
yeah.
know when I talked about toxic friendships? Yeah, no I'm kidding. That's not
He was all JP.
Oh,
No,
That's gonna-
I actually want to thank you girls for inviting me because it was very fun.
of
And
course.
I have a question. The end talks, the end stands for like voice notes.
Yes, it
You know those
Okay.
you know
What?
those very long
What?
voice notes I send you to sometimes.
Oh yeah, voice notes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
thanks.
If you guys, by the way, if the audience haven't noticed by now that we're voice notes, there's a problem.
yeah, we're not good at marketing. It seems.
It seems that you don't
No.
listen to the podcast because when you listen to it, it starts like with the sound of like
Yeah.
ascending.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe that's how you
Sending
should have
the
known,
voice
notes.
JB.
Do you know-
Maybe you're not
do
as
you
a
know
good
that-
friend as I
Do you know
thought.
that during the 2 first episodes, I thought that it was just like the normal sound of Zoom recordings.
Oh my god, imagine they all say that. They all
It
think
took
that.
me like
That's
3 episodes to understand that. Oh no,
I
it's
wouldn't-
an actual thing that
I
they
wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
But this just shows us
We do
how
our
good of a
best.
friend you are. Thank you so much.
No, but no, we really
Love you.
appreciate you also being a very loyal listener and listening and watching our episodes. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
But it was amazing talking to you. I haven't
Yeah.
seen you and talked to you in a long time, JB.
Yeah.
And hopefully in September we'll see each other.
Yeah. And you made a really good closing statement. So
Yeah,
yeah.
you really did. You
We
really
Thank you
did.
for trying.
We ended the episode on a good note. Yeah,
Really?
Cata, we know you wanted to end with BDS, but it was just not
No,
Yes, it's
visible.
not
It was
working.
just not
Yeah.
visible, not
I
sustainable.
didn't.
Anyways, if you guys have any questions for us, contact our Instagram or email. And yeah, we'll see you guys next episode. Bye.
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 Bye.